Howdy, and welcome to LeeReads, where I talk about the books I've been reading and enjoying lately. Today I'm finally doing it. I am doing a TBR video, specifically the books that I want to read over the next few months that feel very autumnal or spooky or fallish in some form or fashion, even though it feels nothing like fall here yet. I'd like to start with something slightly different. My friend highly recommended that I read The Sandman by Neil Gaiman and very graciously let me borrow his edition. I haven't read very many comic books throughout my life, aside from reading comics in the newspaper, but it's not really the same thing. I've heard that this story is very, very good. Basically, some sorcerers are trying to conjure up death, but they don't get death. That's my understanding of the story. Officially, as official as a TBR can get, which, let's face it, I'm very flexible. Putting this on the TBR to read sometime this fall. Lately, I've been listening to Brandon Sanderson's lectures on writing science fiction and fantasy, which they post free on YouTube. When he teaches a course annually at BYU, and they recorded the 2020 edition to post it on YouTube for free learning. And just listening to him talk about crafting stories, storytelling, plot pacing characters, using examples from his work and from other well-known works, it's really inspired me to finish or just to get caught up with this series. For anyone who doesn't know, the Stormlight Archive is an adult epic fantasy, extremely large scale. It, of course, deals with a war between good and evil, incorporating many characters who span from different nationalities in the made-up world of Roshar. When I first read The Way of Kings, which is the first book, I just thought that the magic system was the most unique thing. I really enjoyed it. And then also, things he did with the world building are just so different and fresh. But it's the characters that really grip me with this series, and the characters that go through some really great story arcs so far, and those are what really keep me driving on reading this story. I know sometimes people get irritated with people recommending Brandon Sanderson, but there's a reason for it. He does a really good job with his stories. Next, I want to mention a book that I have on digital version, and I've begun it. I'm about 25% of the way through, which is The Bone Shard Daughter. This is another adult fantasy where the magic system underlying the world is extremely unique. As you might guess from the title, it deals with something called bone shard magic. One of the main characters is struggling to regain her memories so that she can learn to control this bone shard magic so that she will be officially chosen as heir to the Empire. Currently, only the Emperor knows how to wield this magic, and he insists that it's necessary, even though it's gruesome, for the protection of their country against some very scary other race that has previously gone to war with them and almost ruined them. The other main character is an accidental smuggler whose main goal is just to find his wife, who went missing 5 years previously. As he's looking for her, you can tell he's getting wrapped up in a faction that somewhat goes against the Empire or the Emperor's magic. I'm only 25% of the way through, but the story is very, very promising, and I really think I'm going to enjoy it all the way through. And the next book, The Bone Shard Emperor, comes out in November. If I enjoy The Bone Shard Daughter as much as I think I'm going to, then I'm going to definitely want to start The Bone Shard Emperor when it comes out in November. The next book, another adult fantasy. This is The Curse of the Chalion. To be frank, I've read the inside flap of this book, and I still don't have a super firm idea of what it's about, but it involves this, which is why I feel like it's appropriate for the spooky season. Something far more sinister than their scheming hangs like a sword over the royal family, a curse of the blood that taints not only those who would rule, but those who stand in their circle. There's going to be a blood curse, and there's going to be some politics, it sounds like, and fighting for your rightful place. Plus, with this cover, I'm in. Less on the spookier autumnal side, The Expanse series. I am currently reading book 6, and I would like to finish books 6 through 9 this fall / before the end of the year. So those aren't exactly autumn themed, but they're definitely on my TBR because I will be reading them. My dad actually hit up the local bookstores and found the entire series and lent me the last few books except for the newest one, so I should be all set. Bad Witch Burning, a young adult urban fantasy about a girl who has grown up in poverty and discovers that she can speak to ghosts and uses this ability to hold seances to make money. Then the spirits reach out to her and tell her she'd better stop this, and things go awry, like she accidentally summons someone from the dead. Very appropriate for fall. Children of Time. I have been hearing so much about this author. This author is apparently very prolific, so it can be hard to know where to start. They have so many series out. But Children of Time is the one that I see recommended the most as a very unique spin on a first contact story. The last remnants of humanity have left Earth. They found another planet, but they're not the only ones there. The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. This is another necromancy for hire story. Delaria Wells, petty con artist, occasional thief, and partly educated fire witch, is behind on her rent again. Then she sees the wanted sign seeking female persons of martial or magical ability to guard the lady of some importance prior to the celebration of her marriage. So we have a con artist who's a witch who falls in with some other folks and hijinks ensue. The last book on my list is one I've spoken briefly of before that I've pre-ordered, which is Vesper by Margaret Rogerson. Vesper is about the story of a young woman who is training to be a Grey Nun. These people who have some ability to commune with the spirits, and there are ghouls and ghosts, and their goal is to be able to purify the bodies so the spirits can pass before they turn into the ghoul or the ghost or the variety of other bad shade. Of course, there's a deeper history here and worse things lurking in the shadows. Some of the most harmful, strongest of these vengeful spirits are harbored in relics, and the main character accidentally bonds with one. So now the church is out to contain this problem of her potentially becoming inhabited? What's the word? Possessed by one of these extremely strong, powerful spirits. But also, while it's possessing her, it's talking to her, and maybe they can come to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. That's it for my fall, autumnal, spooky season TBR. I know I'll be reading other books besides these, and I may not read all of these. We will see where the months take us. Please let me know if you've read any of these before, and if so, what you thought about them, and what's your most anticipated read for the fall or the spooky season, or however you want to look at it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to support your local library. Bye.